The former chief of El Paso Police's department calling for a ban on police escorts at funerals. He says what happened yesterday is what he tried to keep from happening at all. Tonight, we asked if they should stop those here in El Paso. Other cities already have. Cindy saying no, stupid people need to wake up and smell the coffee. Total idiots on the roads. James sees it differently, though. These processions are unnecessary and nothing but an ego trip. Also, another divisive issue in Las Cruces. Who's to blame for several people hit by cars in the last few months? Our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom investigates, and you discuss. What story has President Obama generating comments like this from you, Raina, saying, does he know what a democracy is? Mike, an incredibly large number of people in this country are politically ignorant, so this would be a disastrous idea. And one more, Dan, voting is indeed a right and privilege, but every American citizen should be obligated to vote. We'll talk about that. And also, Nichole, that storm track weather first alert, what's the deal with it?
Well, it has been lifted, but don't put your umbrella away just yet. You still might need it. I'll explain in your full forecast.
This is ABC-7 at 9 on the CW. Get ready. You become part of the day's news right now.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC-7 at 9 on the El Paso Las Cruces CW.
Well, hey, everybody, how you doing? Thanks so much for joining us here on ABC-7 at 9 on the CW tonight. I'm Bob Harp, Nichole Gomez, our storm tracker, and always keeping tabs on the social media buzz.
Hey there, Bob. This newscast gives you a voice every night, so get out your laptops, your smartphones. We want to see you on the CW.
Yes, and you actually have some important information for us, an update on that first alert. You say it's no longer in place. And look at that live shot of the city.
Live shot of the city, and notice we're not seeing any rain. Now, that first alert has been lifted, but rain chances are still in the forecast. It'll just be light rain. So we'll talk more about what you can expect as far as those rain chances and how long they'll stick around in your full forecast. All
right, thanks so much for that, Nichole. We do appreciate that. And let's get to the buzz of the day.
Because they're just too dangerous given the amount of traffic on their roadways. And quite frankly, I think El Paso's at that point.
The former El Paso police chief now telling us, he's the sheriff as well now, that other big city governments are against the police escorts during funeral processions, and he's been against it for about 10 years. This comes as ABC-7 confirms the El Paso police officer killed while directing one of them yesterday afternoon was Adrian Arellano, a 10-year veteran of the force. This photo is being circulated on social media tonight by loved ones and various law enforcement officers. Of course, this is one of the many stories behind the social media buzz tonight. This sparked a discussion generating passionate comments on both sides. What is being said on all of that still to come. First, let's get to the story. El Paso police telling us the woman accused of driving into Officer Arellano's path while he was on a motorcycle is Maria Soto, and she ignored the officers guiding the procession. A police spokesman says she was driving on Edgemere and had the green light when approaching Yarborough. Police say another escort officer motioned for her to stop, but according to police, Soto ignored him. Well, she could face charges depending on what the police investigation and the DA's office determine, Miley commenting she should be charged. She ignored the officer. Many of you, like Yolanda, offering condolences tonight, saying rest in peace. So unfortunate. Now, if you are wondering when Officer Arellano's funeral will be, that information is not yet concrete. We will, of course, let you know as soon as it is announced. Another man killed while riding his motorcycle might have been drunk at the time. Police saying 25-year-old David Cedillo hit a curb shortly after midnight on the 700 block of Thorn in West El Paso. He was thrown off of his bike and did not survive. A former Los Angeles police officer wanted for murder was last seen in El Paso, according to the FBI. And he could be armed and dangerous, they say. Former officer Henry Solis is accused of killing a man in Sonoma, California, while he was off duty. Solis's father told FBI agents he drove his son from California to El Paso and dropped him off at a bus station. If you happen to see this man, you're asked to call police immediately or the FBI. A $25,000 reward now offering to help solve a 25-year-old massacre in Las Cruces. Billboards are up showing the victims of the bowling alley massacre. Crime Stoppers and Las Cruces police are trying to find any information that could lead to an arrest. February 10th, 1990 is when that happened. 4 people were killed. 3 of them were children. On a much lighter note, here's some good news for all the patients who may have or did tested false positive for tuberculosis. The 7-month investigation over at Providence Memorial Hospital has all wrapped up. The health department saying there are no longer any active cases of TB, but they're still advising parents just to stay attentive anyway. In August of last year, Providence reported that one of its employees tested positive for TB, and that employee had daily direct contact with babies in the hospital. Some disturbing news tonight from Colorado. Speaking of babies, a woman accused of luring a pregnant woman into her home. She met her off Craigslist, then slicing the woman's belly and ripping the fetus out of her womb. Police saying the suspect did it to make her husband believe she had a miscarriage. We had many comments on the Facebook page tonight at the KVIA.com page. Tommy tonight saying some people deserve the death penalty instantly. This is one of those people. From Thina, what a sick, sick woman. Claudia telling us unspeakable. She should not be shown any mercy. And then Angela commenting, they stated a fetus is not considered a person, so that psycho will not be charged with murder. That's appalling if it turns out to be just an assault charge. The Texas Senate just gave its final approval on that bill, the one that would allow people with proper licenses to carry concealed handguns on college campuses. The bill only applies to public universities like UTEP. Private schools could still ban those guns, though. It now heads to the GOP-controlled state House when the state Senate cleared a separate bill this week to allow the open carry of handguns. Jesus told us the worst that could happen is someone getting their weapon snatched by a person with a bad objective in mind. But besides that, I don't see why not. And Barbara saying bad idea. A very, very bad idea. That topic hot on our Facebook pages if you want to join that conversation right now. Also, have you heard this one, folks? It's a hot one tonight. All right, so many of you within minutes were flooding our Facebook page because President Obama said he thinks voting should be mandatory. Robert telling us tonight he wants the government to control everything. Blanca, though, saying people need to be involved. It's not like he is making people do horrible things. This is something everyone needs to do. To make a change, to give their opinions, to see their vote does matter. Well, speaking in Cleveland today, the president said other countries have mandatory voting. It would be transformative. If everybody voted, that would counteract money more than anything. The United States, one of the lowest voter turnout rates in the world among developed countries. Fewer than 37% of eligible voters actually went to the polls and cast a vote in the 2014 midterm elections. That means about 144 million Americans skipped out on the election. So listen to this. If you don't vote in Australia or Belgium, you have to pay a fine. And in Belgium, if you don't pay that fine, you go to prison or at least jail for a little while. This story, again, blowing up social media tonight. Join the conversation and a lot more of your comments still to come in this newscast. A former NMSU student pleading guilty to making a threat against the campus last year. 19-year-old Zachary Milton Hess admitted that he posted an online threat to carry out a shooting on campus. Hess got 5 years probation and fined almost $78,000. Speaking of NMSU, the men's team and the women's basketball team, they're in it. The men's team plays tomorrow morning against number 2 seed Kansas. The game is at 10:15 in the morning. Go Aggies! And the NMSU women's team all ready for a little dancing. Not in the high heels or anything like that. They're wearing their sneakers. They are back in the East Coast, and they are in College Park, Maryland. Today, fans gathered to bid them luck and farewell. They're going to need it, though, because they're up against the top-ranked team.
You know, we're going to play Maryland. They're a number 4 seed. They're 30-2. They're 18-0 in the Big Ten, and they're going down. Thank you.
A top-ranked team. Don't want to say the top-ranked. They're the 4 seed. All right, Nichole, how about my Aggies, huh?
How about those Aggies? Just another Borderland team making us look even better.
Always, right? You got to love that crimson. And, folks, if you missed it last night, Nichole told us that we need to fill out our bracket by checking out the fellas on the team.
Oh my goodness.
You for real with that?
I said the cheerleaders too. You got to be fair.
All right, yeah. Okay, man, check out the cheerleaders or whoever, you know.
Right.
That's how you won money off of that one year.
Yes. Oh my goodness, Bob. We had this conversation yesterday.
Oh, was that supposed to be private? I'm sorry.
Yes, that was private. But now my secret's out.
It is.
Now you guys know how I'm winning.
Well, we know. Hey, everybody needs a little bit of help, right?
That's true. Take my secrets. You can have them.
All right. How about that forecast right now? Because you're saying it's not as bad as it could be, right? I mean, that storm system in Arizona, how's that looking?
Well, it's still tracking towards our area. Now, we have lifted that first alert, but our rain chance is still in place tonight and even through tomorrow. But let's take a quick check of that Doppler radar, show you what's taking place currently. El Paso, Las Cruces, notice we're fairly quiet, but we're still tracking some activity across portions of our area. Notice along the Sacramento Mountains, light to moderate rain tracking through Ruidoso, but the thunderstorm activity is well towards our east. Also seeing some light rain moving through Silver City and around Lordsburg. Now from the wide view, still seeing some of that rain moving in from Arizona. So most of the rainfall tonight has been around Tier C, the higher elevations, and again, the Boot Hill and around Silver City as well. So I'm still tracking rain, possibly for tonight into tomorrow. It's a pretty slow moving system, so the clouds will hang around, so with the light rain. We'll talk about those showers, but you can expect this weekend in your full forecast.
All right, stay right where you are, Nichole. We have a discussion coming up, but first we do have the roads. They look pretty dry right now. That's the good news. A live look at traffic from our TxDOT traffic cams. Hey, we do want to let you know, though, I-10 West from Cotton to downtown completely closed tonight. If you're heading that way, you might want to take Montana to Mesa or the border highway. But again, if you're westbound and you need to take I-10 between Cotton and downtown, going to be closed. Connect with us tonight and join the conversations by using the name See You on the CW, because we always want to see you. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, of course. The big page, KVIA.com on Facebook, is where most of the action is underway. Don't forget, you can contact us on Twitter as well. Okay, that is how you are joining the discussion on one of the biggest stories so far this year, Nichole.
We're talking about the El Paso motorcycle officer killed yesterday. Police say a woman pulled her car right in front of him as he was guiding a funeral procession.
And of course, our thoughts and condolences with the family tonight. And a lot of people questioning if they should even happen. Liability and staffing concerns led to several police departments all over the country to stop providing these police escorts. Cities like Atlanta, Charlotte, North Carolina, Miami, Minneapolis, Las Vegas, and even in Los Angeles. Well, in 2006, then El Paso Police Chief Richard Wiles called for a ban, wanting to keep officers from moonlighting as funeral escorts. It did not happen because the Funeral Home Association, they challenged him, so it never went through. But Wiles, who's now the sheriff, says one of the first things he did as sheriff was to ban deputies from doing those escorts. But he had major difficulties in doing that back when he was the police chief. Now, he says that he had to back down because of pressure from the funeral directors and the officers wanting extra work. But he says El Paso is a big city with a lot of traffic, and he can't be sure if any policies or extra safety would have prevented this crash. But he does think it is worth reviewing.
We could what if it all day long. I just again think that this city's too big to be engaging in that type of activity. I just think it's too dangerous. I did back in '06. I still think it is.
So tonight we are asking, should the city of El Paso do away with funeral processions? If so, how should they operate? Or if not, well, as expected, Nichole, we are getting a lot of mixed reactions. People divided on this issue tonight.
And Bob, some say it's ridiculous we're even talking about this and say, of course, police escorts are needed. Daniel begins with this discussion. He says, I always thought it helped people get to their destination in an orderly fashion and kept those who were grieving focused on their destination to the funeral without the stress of falling behind or getting lost. He adds, accidents happen all the time, and unfortunately, it was one of those timely moments where an officer fell victim to someone's reckless driving. And Bob Sylvia had this to say.
Yeah, I think they should keep doing them. It's the stupid people on the road that should pay attention. This is from Sylvia, saying that she was just telling her friends this morning and the other day that she was behind a school bus and the stop sign was out and the drivers just blew right by it. We will, of course, continue to get to your comments because you do have a lot to say about it. Join us on Facebook tonight. We will certainly get to those throughout this newscast as we get them. Okay, also coming up much more here on ABC-7 at 9. The other hot topics, of course, Obama, the president, saying you have to vote. He's talking about making it mandatory. We'll talk about your reaction because a lot of you not happy, calling him a communist and more. we'll have that story. And also, what story tonight has you saying comments about a boy band star who was recently in El Paso? We'll talk about that as well. Stay with us.